might look overwhelming, but it's really not. You're going to be given all of the things in the problem. So first of all, H stands for height. What do you think T stands for? Aiden? Thanks. Time. Yeah. This negative 16t squared is actually, it's really 1/2 times negative 32 feet per second squared. But I'm not going to make you have to put that in every time. That's the pull of gravity. That doesn't ever change. So you're going to see in a problem like this is always going to be negative 16. If it's a throwing an object problem.
So it's just like the negative 4 when you square it. It's always going to be negative 4. Just subtract 4.
Yes. Alright. V sub 0, that's a subscript, means the starting velocity. And H sub 0 means the starting height. So let's write down what these things all mean. H of t means the height after t seconds. T stands for time. V sub 0 is going to stand for your initial. Initial means beginning velocity. So in a minute, it's going to be the velocity at which the football player kicks the football. And H sub 0 is the starting or initial height. Okay. Somebody who has a really good memory, do you remember that you saw this on your last test? It was all filled in for you.
Yeah.
That very first page.
Oh.
And do you remember how you saw it? It was given to you. You've worked with it before. So don't get overwhelmed by it. You just didn't know what it was. Do you remember you found the maximum height? Kinda, sorta?
Oh, you told me.
Yeah, so we did work with this last chapter. We just found the maximum height. What we're going to use it for today is we're going to use it to see when it hits the ground, when it hits 0, or a certain height. So, alright, let's do it. Let's do one. I'm going to look here. A lot of the times the formula is given to you in your homework, but some of the time it's not. Let's pull out the pieces. Would you read this, and can you tell me one of these 3 things? If you think you find one, raise your hand. Well, you don't know T, so I guess one of these 2 things.
Oh.
Santos, what did you find?
The H sub 0.
What is it?
3 feet.
Good job.
Start.
The starting, so in that spot where H sub 0 is, we're going to put a 3. Draw. Where we see the V sub 0, we're going to put the 47. And that's all there is to it. Let's write. H of t equals, this is always going to be negative 16t squared, plus, what did Jarrell say the initial velocity was? 47t. And Santos said the initial height was 3. If you would prefer to make those X's, that's fine with me. Just realize that that's time. Okay, let's find the maximum height of the football. This is negative b over 2a. Remember? If you forgot, I'll tell it to you. Like if you ever ask, hey, what's the formula for vertex? I'll tell you. Negative b over 2 times a, which is 2 times negative 16. What do you got? Let's see here. Well, yeah. That's what I got. Yeah, let's call it 1.5, okay? What do we, yeah, what do we do with it? Plug it in. Good. Yeah. H of 1.5 equals, and we're going to plug it right in our calculator. You got to show me what you're doing though. Otherwise you're going to look at it later and you're going to think, how did I do that? All right, let's plug it in. Uh-oh. Did you use 1.5? I got 37.5. Do it again.
I got the same thing as you, Miss Carmen.
All right. Enough people did. So I'm going to write that down. 37.5. Looking up in the problem, what are the units? For height, what are the units? Feet. All right, so what that means is that it took the ball, once the ball is kicked, it takes it 1.5 seconds to reach its maximum height, and its maximum height is 37.5. It's the vertex of the parabola. Okay. We did that last chapter, just to review. What are we doing today? We're using quad formula. If no one touches the ball, how long will it be in the air? That means when does it hit the ground? What's the height of the ground? No, what's the height of the, if I said how high is the ground from the ground? 0. So really what we're finding is, when does this equal a height of 0? Okay. And so I'm pointing that out because we said yesterday to use quad formula there had to be a 0 there. And so if I find when it's hitting the ground, I'm finding when it's 0. This is perfect example to use quad formula. Remember, it's up there. No, this is its maximum here.
I know, it's at the maximum height, so it's at 37.
Yeah, I want to know how long. T. All right, T equals, what am I going to write for negative B? Thank you. Negative 47 plus or minus square root. For B squared, we have 47 squared. Be careful on this. 4 times a negative 16 times 3 all over 2 times negative 16. Where do we start?
47 square.
I'm going to put my calculator under here so you can see what I'm doing.
It's a high number. What's a high number?
2209.
Yeah, I got that.
Also, these are 2 negatives, so that's going to make this a positive. All right, so I got negative 47 plus or minus 2209 plus, because 2 negatives make a positive, 4 times 16 times 3, 192. That's what I check my work. I got the 4, 6 minus a negative. I make that a plus. 4 times 16 times 3. I haven't yet. I haven't. Let's do it. You're already ahead of me, Brayden.
What numbers?
When I put them together, I got 2401. Lucas, question? So some of you are, I told you the other day that you could type that whole thing in if you wanted, instead of doing it two separate pieces, okay? And if you do that, these two together, you should get underneath the square root 2401. Okay, but there's a square root. So I have to take the square root. It's not, it might not be nice. Oh, it is nice. Wow, most of the time today it's not nice, so you're going to write it as a decimal. The square root is 49. I know 49 is a perfect square. Don't do it again. You don't keep, it's not like perfect squares where you keep taking them till you're done. You take it once. The square root of 2401 was 49. So we're going to do negative 47 plus or minus 49 over negative 32. Well, we got a calculator. I encourage you to do the calculation piece because that's, people mess up putting it in their calculator. Watch what I'm doing and then you do it. So I add it, enter, divide by negative 32. Well, does negative time make sense in this case? No, so we're going to drop that one in a second. Let's do the other one. Negative 47 minus 49, enter, divided by negative 32, 3. That makes sense. 3 seconds. Question, Salvador. Do you have a coupon for me, sir? Then you can go. Or whatever it is. Pass, coupon, however you want to think of it. Okay, I am going to set up and we are not going to solve because I want to assign some things. So what if I'm not asking for the ground? What if I ask when it reaches a certain height? Then you put the 25 in for H. Okay? So it says, when does it reach 25? So I put it in for H. You want X, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And you have to do one little step first before you solve, because you use quadratic formula. Soraya, what's on the one side of the equal sign to use quadratic formula? Yeah, what's on the right? It says ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Is there a 0 here? No. What one little thing do I have to do before I use quad formula? Subtract 25.
Did we do this like last semester?
So, and then you could go through and plug in quad formula. I'm going to just write a dot, dot, dot. You would go from there.